In this episode of Highway Home, the 5 veterans continue their mission in Ireland to write their original song and get ready to perform it at the end of the tour. They have now experienced a taste of Ireland and have met some of the national recording artists while attending some of the live shows. But the moment of truth is coming. The doors will now be closed behind them as they come face to face with the artists, and they're soon to be paired up with them as it's their time to speak from the heart, because that's the first step of healing in songwriting. And an impromptu rehearsal for the veterans to perform a last-minute show in front of the national artists at a big venue in Dublin weighs heavily on them. They will have to come together to perform an original song they wrote at the first songwriting healing camp in Alaska. But who's gonna sing the song? Who's gonna join them on stage? Because anything can happen, but one thing is for sure. When words fail, music speaks. This is their story. This is their Highway Home. The JC All-Stars were going to headline one of the nights on the tour, and seeing that we had 3 of the veterans that participated in the Battle Dog Operation Rock the Troops songwriting camp in Alaska over the summer, is that we did write the song Highway Home. We just recently recorded it in a professional recording studio with my friends at Empire Sound. Alex Gerst is amazing. He helped us record the song, even play drums on it. But what was cool about it, and what I didn't realize, is that if 3 of the guys are here and we got our band, well, why not perform the song live here in Dublin?
We're playing on Wednesday at the tram line here in Ireland, and JC decided that we're all gonna do Highway Home together, but I think we need some rehearsal before we do it.
To pull that off, I had to kind of get everybody together, and everyone showed up to my hotel room. Basically, everyone kind of sat around. We figured out different parts. You know, we don't have Dave Bray on tour, but our singer Ashley was like, I'll step in.
They had wrote this song in Alaska called Highway Home, and it's so beautiful. It tells such a story, and I wanted the chance to sing it with them this trip. So on Tuesday we got together.
Wait, what'd you do?
This will be a pretty interesting version of Highway Home because, you know, we don't have Dave here with us, but Ashley's gonna sing all of his lines. I'll sing mine. We got Justin from Copper Chief filling in on bass, which will be pretty awesome because the guy's just solid completely at bass. Then we got Casey jumping in, and it should be pretty cool playing the cajon.
Everybody kind of learned the parts that we were going to do, because it's one thing to record a song, it's another to perform it live, and not only perform it live but with musicians that have never performed the song.
The song written by the veterans, Highway Home, it hit me really hard just listening to the lyrics and the message of the song, and just talking about the struggles of trying to get back home from where they've been, and I just thought it was really profound in the message of the song.
When you add real authentic emotion behind the musicianship, you're gonna get something beautiful. So I don't know, I'm really excited about playing that song more than any other song that we have in our set.
So the night before we were gonna do the songwriting camp, we were out enjoying some awesome live music and enjoying the company of the guys that we were meeting on the trip. But inside, you know, it started to really kind of get to me. And I've done this songwriting thing before. I know how difficult it is to open up. And before, this was just with a very small, specifically veteran group. And so to do this around a bunch of veterans that I didn't really know, and then in front of all these national artists that I don't know at all, definitely started to weigh on me.
When I originally wrote the full itinerary and I sent it to everybody, I was hoping that everybody could power through. We sat around this big table, and I really wanted to make it casual for everybody.
You know, JC and Operation Rock the Troops, the way they have this organized, everything feels very natural. You're not having to force anything. You don't feel like you're in the spotlight or anything like that. It's just a very comfortable setting to talk about what's going on.
So songwriting to me is extremely healing because I had a feeling that organically, if I could put artists in the room with the veterans, and if I could ask them the right questions to start the dialogue, I believed that they would open up, but I didn't know what would happen.
You're actually talking about what's going on in your life. You're talking about all these problems and emotions and feelings, but you don't really know you're doing it.
You know, I had this kind of idea and plan in my head of where I was gonna go, what I was gonna say, but the raw openness that the other veterans displayed before me took me on a whole completely different route, and I ended up sharing some so I had absolutely no plan of sharing them, and I went a lot deeper than I thought I was going to.
It's just a bunch of people, you know, sitting in a room BSing with each other, but the whole time you're actually healing and talking about the things that need to be said. It was a really great thing.
And he's like, join the airborne. Paratroopers always get sent to the biggest crap hole imaginable. And I was like, all right. So I joined the paratroopers, and he was right. Then I went overseas and did my time in Afghanistan. And you know, while I was in the Army, I got hurt and sustained an injury, and I was real lost. I didn't know what to do. I think that's kind of like a common deal among vets and just people in general. You know, when you get taken away from something, you know, you just don't know where to go. You got 2 little kids looking at me and a wife at the time. You know, you go from being an Army paratrooper to trying to do some dead-end job, and it's just a struggle. It just feels like a total crash. And I loved playing music, but I never thought it was something I could like do seriously. I thought it was just kind of for other people. I don't got enough good voice, you know, I can't write a good enough song. Then finally I got the guts to kind of do it, and been trying to hit it as hard as I can.
I'm Casey Reefer. I did a couple of deployments to Iraq and Afghanistan. My most recent one in Afghanistan, I was up in the Hindu Kush Mountains training the Afghan soldiers. So it was myself, 2 other Marines, and a platoon of guys from the 173rd Airborne, and we were right on the Afghan-Pakistan border. So we saw a lot of insurgents coming over back and forth, and we were out at probably the most remote bases in Afghanistan. Made it back in one piece. I would say one of the things that I struggled with was, okay, I had all that structure, everything I had to do when I came back is like, okay, well, you know, thanks, and you're done, you know, as of today, go on out there. Things weren't working out with the wife at the time. We ended up splitting. Then, like the day I went back and I graduated college, that very day she went into the investment account and liquidated it. So here I am, fresh out of college, thinking I have 6 figures in a investment account. Then one day I went to go and move some money around, and it said 0. Pretty much was started living in my car for a couple of days trying to figure out what I was going to do. I was just sitting there crying because I didn't know what was going to be my next step. And then I specifically remember a song by Seether came on the radio, and it just reinvigorated me. You know, that song, Fine Again. Yeah. So I was like, you know what, I will figure a way to get over this.
Well, my biggest thing, and I think this is because I've been kind of shown the day in the light in this situation, is dealing with VA healthcare. I was going through exposure therapy, I was on mental health meds, I was on pain management meds, I was in a wheelchair at the time, and we had a transition built up for me to move to Phoenix, which is where I live now, and with all that stuff, and I essentially got into Phoenix's system, and it was just nothing for 5 years. I was on mental health meds that immediately stopped. I was going to Senator Flake, I was going to Senator McCain, I did my paperwork for him, and it's just, I sat there for 5 years just in pain, watching my family see that cyclone, and so I just got to a point where I said I can't do it anymore, and I'd rather be in all the pain than have my family see me like this. And I feel like I'm still trying to overcome that. That's something I'm still dealing with, but I've just had to realize that nobody's gonna do it for you.
So right out of high school, I kind of had a rough childhood, rough family life. My dad that I grew up with my whole life is active duty military, still is, stationed in Minnesota, so he had full custody of me and my brother, and we moved around a lot. And my biological father is veteran, combat veteran, got his feet blown up, stuff like that. So with the Marines. So I always kind of grew up with appreciation for military life. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna sign up for the least cool thing, right? I'm gonna do the Texas Army National Guard, so I don't have to go once a month. And I'm gonna do the Signal Corps, so I don't have to deploy. And as soon as I got out of high school, I went to training and deployed immediately. So it was not what I thought what I could
Texas,
be.
dude.
So that sucks. It was the first time any single unit I ever deployed too. So I was like, cool, cool, cool. And we're expeditionary units, so we're stuck to Spec Ops, stuck to cavalry, stuff like that. But when I got home, I definitely realized that I was not the same person.
Listening to Taylor open up about her story was a very unique experience for me. A lot of times the veteran stuff is very men-centric and centered around a lot of the infantry guys from my era. And so to get the perspective from a female veteran dealing with similar issues, I think was very eye-opening and beneficial for all of us.
It was really hard when I got back home because I got married and I was not the wife that my ex-husband deserved to have. Like, this is the one that what he wanted. And I actually have never said that out loud right now, so that's kind of...
Welcome to the team.
Yeah, because he wanted, the white picket fence and the babies, and I don't want that. So I ended up putting all of my time into going to concerts because I liked the feeling of like raging, if that makes any sense. So I used alcohol for sure as an excuse to get out places, and I would just get blackout drunk and just like front row slinging beers. I needed to be surrounded by people like at all times. I couldn't be alone. When I hit like rock bottom with my family, like, I went through a divorce and I lost all my friends and everything, I turned off the alcohol and turned up the music.
Suicide has been, unfortunately, a large part of the issues that I've had to deal with, not only from a personal perspective, but also from my buddies. And I don't know if it's, you kind of get like-minded people kind of attracted to each other, so I don't know if it's where I was attracting other people or vice versa. When I first got out and I started playing music, and it was all about awareness, suicide awareness, let 22 a day, let's tell everybody. But it stopped. It stopped with awareness. Everybody wanted to let you know, feel bad, donate money. 22 veterans a day are killing themselves, give me money. But what are you doing? There was no action. I wanted to give back through action. And luckily I got to meet with Matt, who was actually boots on the deck doing something. It was awareness with action. And that has saved my life to this point a number of times. And like I said, unfortunately, I've lost all my best friends at this point to suicide that I still had once I got home. And it's been a struggle for me as well, feeling, everybody else kind of touched on different topics, especially talking about having purpose. I've been incredibly lost. I'm a little bit over a year from the most legitimate suicide attempt that I ever tried. And, I'm still kind of trying to find my way back with everything. And so being able to be here and be part of this, I don't have the words for how much it means and how much it helps.
Thanks, bro. Highway home, huh?